Imagine standing on a wooden pier in the year 1650 at the heart of the known world. Before you does not rise a city of stone and spires, but a city born from water and will Amsterdam. This is not merely a place on a map, but an engine of global commerce, a republic of merchants, and the sovereign of the deep. Our journey is a reconstruction, a careful visualization built upon the maps, paintings, and ledgers of its golden age. We will walk its new canals, smell the spice-laden air of its warehouses, and witness the precise moment when a small fishing village transformed itself into the center of the universe. To understand this Amsterdam, we must first understand its moment. The year 1650 finds the Dutch Republic just 2 years past the Treaty of Munster, which finally ended its 8-year war for independence from Spain. That protracted struggle did not cripple the nation, it forged it. The energy of rebellion was channeled into breathtaking commercial ambition. While much of Europe was still organized around land and nobility, this new republic was built on water, credit, and sheer audacity. What makes Amsterdam unique in 1650 is that it has just reached its zenith. A precarious peak of power and influence it will strive to maintain for decades to come. Before we step into its streets, a word on our vision. What you will see is a reconstruction informed by historical evidence. We have consulted city plans from the period, like the one before you now. We have studied the detailed realism of Dutch Golden Age painters, the works of Peter de Hooch, Jan Steen, and Adrian van Ostade, who turned their brushes to taverns, courtyards, and markets, showing not just grand events, but daily life. We use artificial intelligence not to invent, but to extrapolate and visualize, to turn these two-dimensional records into a coherent, three-dimensional world. Our purpose is not fantasy, but informed immersion. Of entry that matters, the water. Look outward from this pier. The harbor is so dense with shipping that the water is almost hidden. A forest of masts, spars, and rigging stretches to the horizon. These are the instruments of Dutch dominance. By 1670, the Dutch merchant marine will total some 568,000 tons, about half of all European shipping. But here in 1650, that fleet is being built. You see the robust, capacious Fluyt ships designed for maximum cargo with minimal crew. They are the trucks of the 17th century, carrying Baltic grain, the mother trade that fed this growth, and returning with salt for the herring fishery. Alongside them are sleeker, more dangerous vessels, the East Indiamen of the VOC, the Dutch East India Company. They are floating fortresses returning from journeys of 2 years or more, their holds packed with nutmeg, pepper, and cinnamon worth a king's ransom. Now, turn your gaze inland. Follow the line of the Damrak, the waterway leading from the IJ estuary into the city's heart. The first impression is one of organized bustle. The air carries a complex aroma, the tang of salt and seaweed, the pungent scent of tar and damp rope, and, beneath it all, the sweet, rich smell of arriving colonial goods. Cranes, powered by great treadmill wheels walked by men, swing barrels, and bales from ship to quay. Porters, bent double under sacks of grain, formed living chains into the vast brick warehouses that line the waterfront. This is the city's loading dock, where the wealth of the world is physically manhandled into the Republic. We will move from this harbor of global scale into the elegant, planned neighborhood of the Herengracht, the Gentleman's Canal. This is the result of the visionary Three Canals Plan of 1612, a radical expansion that tripled the city's size. The water is a calm green ribbon reflecting the clean lines of new merchant houses. Their architecture speaks of restrained wealth. Tall, narrow facades of red brick are topped with ornate, curving gables, bell-shaped, step-shaped net gables. The large windows are not for defense, but for light and display. This is a city confident in its peace and prosperity. Notice the uniformity, the civic order. Each house is an individual statement, yet they form a harmonious whole, a physical manifestation of the Republican ideal, where merchant oligarchs, not a single prince, hold sway. But a city cannot live on finance and long-distance trade alone. Its true pulse is found in the daily market. Let us glide to the Newmarkt, or the dam itself. Here, the scene painted by artists like Gabriel Metsu comes to life. The canvas awnings of market stalls create a patchwork of shade. The sounds are a cacophony of commerce. The sharp cries of fishwives selling Herang, the silver currency of the North Sea, the lowing of cattle being driven to pasture, the haggling over wheels of Gouda cheese. This abundance is modern. Farmers, focusing on intensive dairy and market gardening, feed the urban population that has more than tripled in living memory. People here are well-fed, dressed in good wool and clean linen. There is a palpable sense of buying power, not just among the elite, but among a broad middling class. The wealth flowing into Amsterdam does not just sit in warehouses. It is processed, transformed, and multiplied. This brings us to the sounds and smells of industry. In the Eastern Islands, catch the malty smell of brewing and hear the clatter of looms from the textile workshops. In the Jordan district, a newer area for working people, the rhythm is set by artisanal crafts, but follow a different thick, caramelized sweetness to the sugar refineries along the canals. Around 1605, Amsterdam had perhaps 3. By 1662, there will be 50. Inside these refineries, raw sugar from Brazilian plantations is boiled and crystallized, a brutal process creating a luxury for European tables. Next door might be a tobacco processor or a diamond cutter. These are colonial industries, turning raw global plunder into finished European goods. For the ordinary Amsterdammers who are not merchants or master craftsmen, life unfolds in places like this small courtyard, captured so perfectly by painters. Like Peter de Hooch, we are behind the Grand Canal houses, in the world of servants, journeymen, and shopkeepers. The architecture is more modest, the bricks perhaps less even. Lines of laundry stretch between buildings. A woman scrubs a stoop. The Dutch obsession with cleanliness, already proverbial. Children play near the pump. It is peaceful, orderly, and inward-looking. These courtyards provided light, air, and community in a densely packed city. They represent the domestic ideal, the calm counterpoint to the frantic exchange of the harbor and bourse. All the trade, all the wealth, and all the social order must coalesce into a center of power. And in 1650, that center is a massive construction site. Here on the dam, the medieval Old Town Hall has been raised. In its place rises the monumental New Town Hall, a project of staggering confidence. Designed by Jacob van Campen, it is intended to be nothing less than the eighth wonder of the world, a palace for a republic. Built not for a king, but for its burgomasters and aldermen, the sound of chisels on sandstone fills the square. This building, when completed, will be a statement in marble. The world's wealth is ruled here. It physically declares that the city council, a mercantile oligarchy, is the true authority, even over the princes of Orange in The Hague, **. This brings us to the hidden tension, the key turning point of 1650. Amsterdam is at its peak, but its very success has bred conflict. Just this year, the young Prince William II of Orange, stymied by Amsterdam's dominance over national policy, planned a siege of his own country's premier city. The siege never materialized, but the threat was real. The tension is between centralized martial authority, the House of Orange, and the decentralized, mercantile power of the regent class. Furthermore, the economic model has limits. The wage advantage that fueled early growth is fading. Rival nations, particularly England, are emulating Dutch ship designs and challenging their trade routes. The first of 3 Anglo-Dutch wars is just 2 years away. The city is at the summit, but the winds of competition are beginning to blow. It is a moment of supreme confidence, shadowed by the first, faint awareness of future challenge. As our walk through 1650 concludes, let us hold this image in our minds and compare it to the Amsterdam we might know today. The Dam Square, once dominated by a weighing house and a half-built town hall, is now anchored by the royal palace, that same town hall later repurposed for a monarchy. The canals of the Grachtengordel, then the ambitious edge of a new expansion, are now the historic, serene core of a World Heritage Site. The bustling shipyards and noisome industries have been replaced by museums, cafes, and bicycles. The bourse, where the world's prices were set, has evolved into a different kind of exchange. The greatest change is one of purpose. That Amsterdam was a machine for global trade, a pragmatic, ruthless, and brilliant engine of accumulation. Modern Amsterdam is a machine for living, a monument to tolerance, culture, and urban design. the physical form, the canals, the bridges. The gabled roofs persist with remarkable fidelity thanks to that indestructible 17th century plan. But the spirit within that form has transformed. The single-minded focus on commerce has broadened into a celebration of civic life. We close our reconstruction where we began, on the water. The forest of masts is gone, replaced by tour boats and water taxis. But look closely. The water itself remains, the fundamental fact of the city. It was the threat that demanded dikes, the highway that brought wealth, and the canvas upon which the city's unique beauty was drawn. Amsterdam in 1650 was not a static portrait of perfection. It was a dynamic, tense, living organism at the climax of its own extraordinary story. It built a world in its own image-orderly, mercantile, and ambitious hand for a few decades. That world revolved around it. We have walked its streets not to mourn a lost past, but to understand the ambition that shaped our present. An ambition still reflected in the calm, enduring water of its canals.